What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. And with 2022 coming to a close, it's just kind of fitting for Disney, right, to be embroiled in a lawsuit right now as this year comes to an end. I mean, it's been a hell of a year for Disney, and that's probably the understatement of the year with everything that's going on with that company, okay? And listen, every single bit of it is 100% their fault, okay? They can't go around and blame anybody else but themselves, all right? They've gotten away from the vision and the legacy of the originator, Walt Disney, okay? Walt Disney wouldn't have been in this mess, okay? Because he understood the assignment from day one. Our focus needs to be on parents, children, entertainment, okay? Something for the whole family, all right? That's what we are all about here at Disney. And if they had stuck to that, they would have been fine. But now they didn't. Okay, it's led to a lawsuit. Let's go ahead and check this out. This is on the Blaze. Disney investor sues company alleging its criticism of Florida's parental rights in education bill created a swift and severe financial risk. You're damn right it did. A Disney investor filed a lawsuit against the media company alleging that its response to the Florida Parental Rights in Education Act fostered a far-reaching, swift, and severe financial risk for the company and its shareholders, Bloomberg reported. The complaint was filed in Delaware, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And it talks about, the Parental Rights in Education Act, also known as the Don't Say Gay Bill, misleadingly known as the Don't Say Gay Bill, prohibits schools from teaching kindergarten through third grade students about sexual orientation and gender identity. Why anybody would want that to happen is beyond me. The act, which was signed into law by DeSantis in March, also forbids schools to restrict parents' access to information about their children's mental, emotional, or physical health. Again, why would anybody want to restrict that information is beyond me. And Disney was fighting that, okay? It's like what the hell are y'all thinking? They were fighting something as crucial as parents, like, knowing what's going on with their kids at school. Like, why would you ever fight that, Disney? Why would you ever fight against that? That's absolutely insane. Unbelievable. But nevertheless, that's what's landed them in this lawsuit. Because by doing that, shortly after the bill was signed into law, DeSantis revoked Disney's special municipal district, okay? So that means now that's messing with the money. Now you started messing with the money. You lost control over your tax and infrastructure decisions on the Florida amusement park property. And I was on Chapek. Chapek should have never listened, okay? But what happened? He bent the knee to his woke employees. Instead of just telling these woke employees, hey, shut up and get back to work or you're fired. No, he said, well, I got to say something because my employees are putting pressure on me, okay? And now the whole company's got a big shitstorm on their hands, okay? Now they got a lawsuit to deal with. And this is the reason why, as you can see, stock price dropping like it's hot, right? It was at 160 at the beginning of the year, all right? And now we get all the way down to the end of the year. It's all the way to 94. It was as low as 85, 86 at some point in time, okay? I mean, the stock has absolutely tanked over the entire year, and it's nobody to blame but Disney themselves. And when you get movies like Strange World, which is going to end up becoming a historic box office bomb, Strange World was a strange decision. I don't understand why you thought that this thing was going to make any kind of money. But I mean, it is absolutely flopped and it is absolutely tanked. And then, of course, you got all the little stuff that's coming out on Disney Plus, stuff like Willow doing 25% Rotten Tomato score. Unbelievable. Disney Plus might be growing fast, all right? But look at what streaming is doing, losing 1.5 billion, okay? And then you got the show Andor, which is a phenomenal show, but nobody watched it, okay? Why? Because you've wrecked the Star Wars brand. And then we go with, again, I mean, this one is the coup de grace of the entire year. Disney firing Bob Chapek after the woke war with DeSantis. And basically, this guy, Bob Chapek, getting replaced by Bob Iger. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to be any different from that. And it looks like the whole thing was just sabotage at the end of the day. Christine McCarthy emerges as the top CEO contender. She's basically the king killer who took down Bob Chapek. So now you got this whole Game of Thrones fight for the Iron Throne crap going on inside the company where these two, look at this evil looking, like Wicked Witch of the West looking chick over here, boy. Man, she looked like she belonged in this little castle up here, just cackling. And how does it all end? Disney Animation lost the box office crown for Universal for 3 straight years, okay? So, and no turnaround in sight either. Absolutely incredible. You think about Disney, you're thinking about one of the animation champs, the animation champ. There's nobody that's touching Disney animation. They've been running it for years. Well, look what happens. This is what happens when you start pushing all kind of politics into your animated programs for your children. Universal just coming out doing what they do, all right? DreamWorks and, Despicable Me, Illumination, all that kind of stuff. And look what they are doing. Let's just read this real quick. Disney, the once undisputed king of animated movies, has lost the box office race to arch rival Universal for the last 3 years running, and there's no sign of a magical turnaround on the horizon. So you had Onward, which opened with 39 million, disappointment, right? Then you had Strange World, right, which opened up with 25 million in its first 12 days of domestic release, a huge disappointment. And again, probably going to be one of the biggest box office bombs ever. This is going from March 20 all the way up to present. Disney's theatrically released animated films have grossed just over $1 billion worldwide. But meanwhile, in that same period, with the same burdens of COVID on much lower production budgets, Universal's combined theatrical output from Illumination and DreamWorks Animation have earned, what? $2.06 billion worldwide from a series of animated hits like Trolls World Tour, The Croods, Spirit Untamed, Boss Baby, Family Business, Sing 2, The Bad Guys, and Minions, The Rise of Gru. I think this is like the only one of these that I actually watched here, and it was probably, pretty cool. Then you got like the CEO, Jeff Shell, out here just talking mad amounts of shit right now. I honestly think that not only are we challenging Disney animation, but I would take our animation business over theirs right now, he said on a conference call with investors. We have an animation system that now rivals, if not surpasses Disney. Yeah, talk your shit, Jeff. I like that, man. That's what you get, Disney. Get woke, go broke. And now your competitors are passing you up. Congratulations. Good job, Universal. Happy to see it. Yeah, you can see, here's the chart right here, right? The red line is Disney. The blue line is Universal. You can see Disney has always kind of been up on top, doing its thing, dominating. But ever since 2020, yeah, not looking so hot, okay? And again, 2020 was when they just really opened the door to the woke stuff, okay? It was all right before then, but they've really just opened up the floodgates at this point. And you notice this again, this is the domestic look for all of the films in the studios and the rankings right now, okay? And Universal's still on top, right? Now, yeah, Avatar is going to come along and kind of sweep through this thing and take over, all right? So, yeah, we know Avatar is going to propel Disney well above Universal. But just the fact that Universal is even in front of them when you consider that Thor, Love, and Thunder came out, right? You had Black Panther, you had Doctor Strange, these humongous properties, okay? Like Disney owns like the biggest properties on the planet, all right? Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars. I mean, they should be wiping the floor with everybody at this point. And yet, few days left in the year, they're still behind Universal, which primarily did that off the strength of Jurassic World, Dominion, and the Minions. But nevertheless, the fact that they even did that well against a juggernaut like Disney, that just shows you where things are. And then you got this Marvel fatigue setting in, man. Marvel is the worst one because Marvel is like Disney's golden goose right now. Like, they push so much stuff out in this phase 4 because that's the best thing they got going, right? Like Star Wars, they really haven't made a movie since 2019. So this was it. And when you have 3 major movies coming out in a single year, right? And you're now at the point where you have to say, yeah, we got some fatigue setting in. We're going to have to reshuffle the deck. We're going to have to figure something else out. Yeah, you're in hot water. You're in big trouble right now with this particular franchise. I'm telling you guys. I mean, you got Eternals, you got Thor, Love, and Thunder, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, like all diminishing returns. Black Panther also diminishing returns, and not making the money they thought they were going to make on this thing. And when you're not making the money that you expected to make, okay, and then you start looking at what Disney Plus is doing, losing money. Yeah, it's time to reshuffle the deck. We messed up somewhere. All right. Clear the decks. Let's figure out what we did wrong. Yeah, and then you get to Disney's woke crusade is costing it dearly. The entertainment giant is alienating audiences and losing shed loads of money. And when you go back and you start thinking about what Disneyland was and what Disney was, right? Like Walt Disney was a visionary. Okay, he was a creative and he was a visionary, all right? The man had a plan. And like he had like an influence on the entire country and even the world. You really can't understate like how big of an icon Walt Disney was when it comes to entertainment in general. Like Disney even influenced anime. Like if you like anime, and I like anime, you can tell by my shirt, right? Like Disney influenced even anime, right? And it says here in this particular article, it says it wasn't until the post-war period that anime really took off. It was in the late 1940s that one of Japan's most prolific and most important animators first rose to prominence, Osamu Tezuka. It says Tezuka would create more than 700 manga totaling more than 150,000 pages. He would earn the moniker the god of manga, and incredibly the work of Walt Disney would prove to be one of his stronger influences. Tezuka adored Disney. He is said to watch the 1942 film Bambi more than 80 times. He also enjoyed Dumbo, the post-WW2 Uncle Scrooge, comics also drawn by the Disney animator Carl Banks. Anyone who compared the work of anime artist Osamu Tezuka and the work that came out of Walt Disney Studios in the 30s and 40s could see the obvious similarities between Disney's characters and Tezuka's. Of course, Tezuka created all of his own characters and storylines, but he borrowed the bold lines, round heads, and large expressive eyes of Disney characters, making his own characters at once impossibly cute and extremely expressive. You see, he borrowed his animation style. This is how much of an influence that he had, and that animation style continues into this day with anime. And it's crazy when you like look at this picture in the background here of Disneyland. Like, I recall walking through Disneyland when I was a kid, and I was listening to somebody describing that experience. I want to say it was Chris Gore, but he was just talking about walking around Disneyland, man, like the old school thrills, like the Enchanted Tiki Room, you know, and how that thing was so well done, even like for back in the 60s and 70s, how that thing was so well done. You got the Hall of Presidents, you know, all of these various little things. It was like Americana, right? You know, that's what Disney was, man. It's like a little slice of Americana. And I don't know what it's like now, but they've destroyed it. Like, they've completely destroyed it. The shit's too high. Nobody can afford to go anymore. All right. And then you look at all the content that's Disney is pushing out there. It's all garbage, trash, woke. Nobody wants to watch it. All right. Companies losing billions and billions of dollars by the fistloads. I mean, it's just crazy. But that's where we're at. Okay. Like the man Walt Disney himself, right? Like his legacy and his vision, his values, right? Like all of that stuff is just gone. There's like nothing left except maybe his name, right? And the castle. Like, that's it. That's all that's left of Disney. It's all been replaced by crappy, woke, progressive, social agendas. It's just a giant wasteland of nonsense at this point. See, I'm pretty sure like Walt Disney had some views that I personally wouldn't hold myself, okay? But, you know, when it came to entertaining kids, he understood exactly what it was that he was supposed to do. He didn't try to push whatever he was dealing with into every single cartoon. It was all about family values, okay? I don't see what's wrong with that. But the company has gotten so far away from that crap, and yeah, it's completely destroyed. Hey, you know, you get what you get. But anyway, folks, what do you think about this situation? Disney in 2022, absolutely crumbling, falling down. It's a fallen kingdom now, right? It's not the Magic Kingdom. It's the fallen kingdom. Sad to see, but hey, you get what you get. Go ahead, drop down, give me your thoughts and your opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.